Hello everybody, you have tuned in to Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover virtually any aspect of making a murderer. I go over the evidence, the documents, the photos. So if you like, stay tuned, and in the future I'll have many more videos besides the one you're about to see. Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about the for sale sign that was found in Steven's desk in his trailer. And you know, you'll see here it has some writing on the back of it, has some writing on the front side of it advertising a Pontiac, and we'll kind of flip these around here so you can see it's advertising the Pontiac Grand Am that Steven had apparently. So, but here they are, they're flipped around. Now you can see the full for sale front side of it. Anyways, so this sign is very interesting, and I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over it today here with you. What's very odd about it, and ultimately this is going to lead us to the next video that I'm going to be doing today to follow. To basically, it's going to be two parts, and it's going to lead us into the next video of basically where I believe that Teresa Halbach was burned, the property, and where I think she was burned. So, yeah. So we're going to get into that today. We're gonna pretty much spell it out. All right, folks, so here we have Steven's desk. Now, what you see the pointer pointing at there is that's where Steven's computer is, and just in front of it, you see that's a Auto Trader magazine. You see what's on top of that magazine? That is a black felt marker, folks. Okay, keep that in mind. Black felt marker was on top of the Auto Trader. Okay, this is the printer area. This is where, you know, obviously where the printer is, and then where the arrow is now is where the papers and stuff are, right? And you see all those edges all look clean. Doesn't look like there's anything written on any of that paper, right? No black marks or anything. All right, folks. So now here we see. I just wanted to give you a nice close-up so you could see that felt marker on top of the Auto Trader. It's important. So there it is. All right, so now here we see a close-up of the printer, real nice and close up. You can see that those papers on the right side of the printer are sticking out about an inch or so, okay? That's important when we get to the next clip here, because you're going to see that it's impossible that the piece of paper that they're claiming they found there could have been there. So I just want to show you that real quick. You can see how clean the edges of that paper are there. Oh yes, and we also want to point out here that the Auto Trader magazine is not in front of the printer, okay? Is not in front of the printer currently. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, folks, so now here we are looking at where they say they found this sign, okay? You guys see any problem with that? The problem is that this sign, whatever was on the end there a second ago, was completely blank, okay? You see this here? How close that lettering and everything is to the edge? That would have been seen in the other pictures. So this, and then you see the Auto Trader right there is now in front of the printer instead of over by his computer keyboard. Okay, the Auto Trader with the felt marker has now moved, and suddenly there's writing on this back of this sign. Okay, folks, so that brings us to now analyzing the handwriting here. Now, I want to point out about Steven here. He kind of goes through a mishmash of going between cursive, printing, and back to cursive down at the bottom and stuff. So, very much unconventional in the way that he writes, but also puts in a lot of unnecessary capital letters. You know, these are the things that I noticed that are similar between these two pictures, because when you notice, when you go down to the other one here, he's got a few unnecessary capital letters. He's got the AM in Grand Am capitalized. He's got the I, the A, and the C in Pontiac capitalized. This is the way Steven writes. And it's proven because I know this letter was written by Steven. This letter was undoubtedly written by Steven. So that's why I say these two actually seem to match. Okay, what doesn't seem to match is the next one. So another thing I wanted to point out about that last picture is that also you'll notice that the marker used to do the front of that sign was a different marker, I think, because you could tell it was running out of ink. It was starting to not make a nice even mark. It was like making little streaks kind of. So something else that's interesting, because when you see this sign here, this ink looks perfect, like out of a brand new pen. So that's another reason why I'm pointing this out. But you can see how the writing here in the letter does not really match here. It's not as sloppy, or it's sloppier than what's going on here on the sign. The sign looks like somebody was trying to imitate Steven's writing, but they just weren't as haphazard with grammar and punctuation as he was. So this sticks out to me. But even if the handwriting analysis doesn't convince you, what should convince you is the fact that when we saw what was hanging out before in the first picture, there was no way that this writing could have come this close to any of these edges. What I also want to point out is that Auto Trader magazine, you see it there, the one that had the felt pen on top of it. Okay, so just to reiterate, folks, obviously no Auto Trader magazine in front of the printer at this point. No marking on that paper where they're saying that they pulled the for sale sign from. Nothing there. You would have seen, trust me, it's black felt marker. We would see something. So that's the way it is there, folks. I mean, it's just fishy as heck. You know, there's that marker that was over on top of the Auto Trader, and we know by the time that there is writing on that paper that Auto Trader that had the marker on it moved. So this all leading us to the address of 3302 Zander Road, which is very important because in the next video that I'm going to be doing here, we're going to find out about a guy named Mr. Metz and what he experienced on November 1st. So get ready for that video, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe.